Hey everyone, and welcome to How to Deploy an Eliza Agent to DigitalOcean with Rami Sharani, CTO of Coop Records, the first on-chain record label. Today, we're diving into setting up Eliza locally, configuring a DigitalOcean droplet for hosting, and automating the deployment with GitHub Actions. Let's get started. Rami, in one word, how are you doing today? And in one sentence, what do you need today?
One word, excited. And today what I'm really looking for is just to get Eliza up and running on a server, get it into production at the most basic level, and then seeing how to actually interact with it as I develop an application around even the most basic experience with Eliza. So I'd say that's really what I'm looking for at the moment.
Let's do it. Share your screen. Let's open up the Eliza you've got and try to run it locally to see how far you've gotten so far.
Cool. Let's see here. Can you see my screen? I just exposed everything.
Yep, I see it. I just brought it on the live stream. We can see right now Restream.
Perfect. So had some fun with this. What I was really hoping to do was create a kind of like surfer AI app for.
I'm still seeing just Restream. Did you just share the Chrome app?
Yeah, I did. Or I shared the cursor app. Are you still not seeing that? Oh.
I am only seeing Restream right now.
Let's try again. Oh, there we go.
Now I see Restream. Now I see cursor. Perfect.
Cool. So yeah, so really all it's been set up at this point is just the character.json, and it has some things. This was all generated with Claude, just to kind of have something up and running. I am able to get it to run in the terminal and kind of interact with it, but at this point, I was really just hoping to get it onto a production server so I could really just start playing around with it on different applications that I set up.
Great idea. I might have missed it. Have you already run this character file locally?
I have, yeah.
Can we try that real quick and just verify it does run locally?
Yep. So I'm trying to remember even what the command was, but it was. Do you remember what it is at the gate?
I believe it's pnpm start and then double dash. It's got a character file name. I always reference the README to figure out what it is.
Okay. There it is. I was trying to set up with Docker Compose as well. There we go. npm. There we go. I'm also going to blame any misstep on just the fact that it's 6:30 right now, in case anybody's seeing this. Okay, cool. So, hey, who are you? And I have it connected with OpenRouter at the moment. It's definitely the longest it's ever taken. There we go. Kai, seasoned surfer from the Bay Area. How can I help you out today? That's perfect.
Nice. Okay, so it's working. You've got Eliza, you've got it locally, you've got a custom personality, and now you're saying, okay, it's great that it runs locally. How can I get it so that it's running even if I'm out at a show or I'm somewhere else in the world and I don't want it running on my local computer, right?
Exactly.
Have you already set up your DigitalOcean droplet, or can we share that and create that right now on the stream?
Let's actually create it. I set one up, but I have a feeling I perhaps didn't set it up correctly or something like that. So let's just, oops. Yeah. Interesting. All right, I'm just going to stop sharing just while I log in.
Copy.
Thought I did already. Oh, I was. Okay. Let me know if you can see my shared screen again.
I can see it. You're setting up a new project in DigitalOcean.
Yep. I'm just going to I'm going to kind of let you lead a little bit here, but I'm just going to call this waves agent.
Perfect.
I don't think I need these. Oh, I do. Service, sure.
Whatever you put non-important.
Okay. Cool.
From here, we want to create a droplet. You can see that there's a button, spin up droplet with a big droplet photo. That's what we want.
Cool.
We're going to set it at all the lowest numbers to save the most money. Keep it in New York. Data center is fine. Image, we're going to scroll down into the choose an image section, and we'll keep it at Ubuntu. In size, we'll keep it as basic. CPU options, I think, is the first one we'll change a little bit lower.
Okay. Is that to general purpose? Oh, sorry, basic.
Yeah, keep it on shared. And now down here, go to regular SSD on the left. And then we should be able to scroll even smaller and go to a $4 a month option. There, that's the least you can pay, and that's what we'll be able to use today. Keep scrolling down.
Okay.
We're going to use a password to sign in. I recommend set up this password off camera, or if you already know a password, this is what you're going to use to SSH into your DigitalOcean droplet.
Got it. Okay. I think I have one saved. Back to sharing.
I can see again. Okay.
Oh.
Keep scrolling. I think that's the last thing we need to do. Oh yeah, in host name, right down there, change that to a human readable name like Kai or whatever you want to name this droplet so you can remember it.
That works. Okay.
Other than that, we should be able to create now.
All right.
Okay, so now you got a DigitalOcean droplet. The only things we want to do going into this are to get it. Honestly, I think it's probably good for now. We'll need to SSH into it eventually to get it set up, but let's move on to setting up the GitHub action. You've already sent me the repo that you're using for this. You don't have any GitHub actions inside of it, do you?
I do not know.
Let's add a GitHub action. I'm just going to send you the one that I use.
Okay.
Let me find which one. It'll be inside of Recoup. So we'll go to Recoup AI, Recoupable, Recoup Agent APIs. And inside of here, we've got a deploy file. I'm going to send this to you in the private message of the stream.
Cool.
And we're going to copy that deployment file into your own GitHub actions inside of your local repo. There's no private info inside of it, so it can all be shared.
Okay, cool. Go back to sharing. So let me just copy this whole thing, I guess. Okay, workflows, and I'll just commit this, right? I've actually never really done this before.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, new folder .git.
Yep.
And then
Workflows.
I'm sorry, .github, not .git. That was my bad.
Okay.
And then inside of the .github folder, you'll make a workflows folder.
Cool.
And then inside of that, you'll make a deploy.yaml.
Is it just YML or
YAML? Yet another markup language.
Yep, love it. Cool.
All right, let's read through this briefly. The first thing we do, check out the code. We set the node version to 20. We install all of our packages and install pnpm. Then we set our secrets. Well, we try to grab our secrets for the deploy. We haven't set these yet in our GitHub, so we'll need to set the IP of the droplet, the username of the droplet, which defaults to root, and the password, which is what you set off camera. Those are the only three environment variables we need to set in the GitHub repo, and that allows the GitHub repo to deploy to your droplet. Then it goes into actually doing the deployment step. We can see that we connect to the droplet. We're making a directory of a hard-coded name that I put. We'll change that name on line 41 and 42 to your project name so that the folder is recognizable to you in when you SSH into the droplet.
Are you okay with the fact that I'm changing it right away?
Yes, please. Please. Yeah, that'll
Cool.
keep us fast. Maybe, yeah, that looks great. Then we initialize, the GitHub repo is incorrect on line 47. We'll want to set that to your actual GitHub URL.
Okay.
Then we pull the latest changes. We get whatever the branch is that we're referring to, reset any changes, pull the latest branch, verify that we're on the correct branch, run git status. Then we install bun. I don't know if we're using bun, but we'll keep it in there for now. Then we install pnpm globally again. We verify that we're using NVM version 20. We source in our NVM. Then we install the packages using pnpm. And then we restart the server using pm2 restart ecosystem.config. And so the one file that we're missing is ecosystem config. Let me get you that. Here it is. I'm sending it inside of the private chat again.
Cool.
Right there.
Oh, cool.
Simple little config file, and we'll update that to be your info as well. Put that in the root of your project.
Cool. Ecosystem dot
config.cjs.
Cool.
Name we'll want to change as well as script.
Is this what is this? Does this actually reference something? Like, do I need to put this to like the GitHub repo name or anything like that, or whatever I want?
You can name it whatever you would like. This is the name of the process that is running your Eliza agent.
Okay, this works.
Bun will change to pnpm, and then args, we're going to pass in the args that you passed in to run the agent. I believe it's start and then _ character, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
Exactly.
So would I do that? Oh, start. Oh, I see.
That's it. Perfect. And our quotes need to change up because args is already using a double quote.
Oops. Just to handle backticks.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out. That looks good to me. Let's go back to our deploy script to make sure we don't, and then let's just do a quick scan top to bottom and make sure there's nothing else in our deploy.
Okay, cool. Deploy, okay.
Did we miss anything in terms of updating variables to reference our project?
I think this looks good. I'm just going to do one over again here. Yeah, that looks good.
Excellent. In that case, we want to push these changes. Your call if you want to push it directly to main or if we want to open up a branch. Overall, we're going to go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll just commit it to main.
Cool. And we are missing our environment variables for now. So we can either let's set those environment variables before we push so that our first push is successful. Can you open up the GitHub repo, go to settings, and find your environment variables?
Yes.
And I see Yashi tuned in. Yashi commented, yo, I'm making food. Let's go, Sweetman. Thank you for joining us today, Yashi.
Nice. Love to hear it. And you said secrets and variables?
Yep. And then click actions. And we're going to modify the repository secrets down below.
Okay.
And you can set those off camera to the three things that we need.
Perfect.
Which are defined inside of deploy.yaml.
Yep. So droplet IP, droplet user, and droplet password. Got it.
User is the only one you won't find in your DigitalOcean config, and that value is root.
Okay. And do I just set it by doing droplet IP equals, very similar to an M file?
There should be two fields in GitHub. There should be title and then value. So you should be able to put them into two different inputs in the GitHub settings. One is for the name of it and the other is for the value.
Okay. So it's not like an M file. I see. I'm understanding now. Cool. Give me a second to do this. And drop a user, you said is root.
Correct.
And drop what password is that password I set off camera.
Correct.
And sorry, it's taking me a second here. Cool. Okay. Back to sharing. Cool. So then I open this back up. Yeah, it actually didn't commit these. And just start this one. Oh, I'm hoping you'll be able to remove any environment variables that show up, but if not, it's fine too. But basically, I have, I don't know, I got rid of these. Model GGUF. Should I just commit all of these in here?
Yeah. Do you still have your character file? Has that already been pushed?
Not yet. I didn't push it yet.
Okay. We'll want to make sure we push it.
Yep. So I have the deploy YAML, the remove the Kai one. Oh, that was a mistake. Sick. Let me just add it back in. It's really just the same. That's this one. Cool. And just to double check that it actually still works. And to delete this one. Hey, who are you? In the meantime, I can just get this working. So I'll get the deploy script, Kai. I don't need this Docker compose image at the moment. Ecosystem, model GGUF, I don't know what that is. And I don't think I need the PNPM lock YAML either, right?
I agree 100% with your current setup.
Cool.
Actually, we do need the lock. We do need the lock.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Now I agree 100%.
Okay. Deployment, scripts, and commit. Cool. And yeah, perfect. So all that worked. Now where should I actually go to?
And go to the Actions tab, and we should see an action.
Cool.
We can click into that and see how the deploy is going. It will not expose any env variables. If you click into that deploy as well, we'll see it line by line.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, we've got an error.
We're expecting the error. We have not set up, we haven't added all those things it's looking for, like NVM, PNPM, PM2. So now what we'll do is we'll SSH into your DigitalOcean droplet, and we'll add in those things that it needs.
Got it. Okay.
I'm going to start the doc to get you all that info.
Cool.
Do you know how to SSH in, or should I talk you through it?
If you want to just pass me over the commands.
Yeah, open up a terminal. It can just be an
Yeah.
empty terminal, and we'll run SSH and then a space. Then you'll put the username, which is root, and then an @ symbol, no space between root and @ and then the IP address that we're SSHing into.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then once you do that, it'll ask for your password. So go ahead and execute that. It's not going to, oh yeah, now type yes. It explicitly needs yes. And then nothing you type will show up, so you can put your password in and nobody will see it.
I might just stop sharing anyway, but I will. Cool. Back to sharing. Cool. Root at Kai.
You're there now?
Yep.
Okay. I'm finding the instructions.
Oh, and also,
go ahead.
I believe just FYI, I don't know if this is from. Is this from our current? Like, when was that created?
Oh, need to share your screen. When was what created?
Oh, can you not see my screen?
I see. I'm sorry. I'm there now.
Oh, whoops. Okay. I was just making sure this is actually the folder, or like that this was actually created today. I was playing around with this the other day too, so I just didn't know if it's shared.
It is correct, right? That was 2 minutes ago?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Okay, so did I add it into the README? I did not. Where did I add this into? Launchpad API, it was probably here. Prerequisite project, here we go, DigitalOcean setup. I'm going to send you one more repo inside of the private chat. In that, we're just going to go into the README and you're just going to follow the instructions for setting up DigitalOcean. So if you scroll down, keep going a little bit more, there's DigitalOcean droplet setup. So you've just followed the SSH. Now we're going to follow those installations to give us node version manager, node version 20, PNPM, and PM2.
Cool. Okay. So I'm just going to copy each of these lines one by one here. Cool. Sweet. PNPM. Cool. Assuming these go on YouTube, it'd be really nice to have access directly to these. I know they're on the AgentKit Launchpad APIs, but just for reference later, it'd be nice.
Agreed.
Okay. Cool.
Now, verify down below. Just copy that verify step 4.
Cool.
Looking like everything's there.
Cool.
So we are now all set up. So we can run this by opening up the workflow for the deploy workflow. We're going to copy that command, that last command in your GitHub workflow, which actually executes the ecosystem file. And we are going to manually execute that in the SSH instance to restart the file. If you don't see it here, there you go. Perfect.
So the last line on the workflow, this one?
Yep. And make sure that you execute that after you've changed directory into your project folder in your SSH environment.
Got it. Cool. And go for it.
Do it. Once you do it, so we can see that PM2 is now running that process. And now you can run PM2 logs in your SSH instance to see the logs of what's running.
You said PM2 logs?
Yep.
Oh,
And it looks like it might be stuck in. Oh, we probably. Okay, it looks like it's missing TSC. So let's crash this to stop watching.
yeah. So just Control C, yeah.
Yeah. And then run PM2 stop 0 to stop this process from running.
Just like that.
Yep. Okay, and now if we're still in this folder, let's run pnpmi to install any packages we might have been missing before we had pnpm.
Okay. And I'm in the one. Yeah. Okay.
The reason I think that's our solution is I'm seeing the red line above. It's saying sh1 tsc not found, which usually just means we don't have tsc, which is what Eliza uses to execute the TypeScript environment that we're running.
Okay. Cool.
And it does look like it was missing a bunch of packages.
Cool. And the GitHub Actions didn't take care of any of this, right? Downloading.
It will in the future. The reason it didn't before is because we didn't have pnpm installed, and so you saw that the GitHub action failed when it tried to run pnpm install.
Okay. Okay.
Moving
there was
forward,
no
a
way.
new package, it will automatically install those for you.
Okay, and there was no way to install that through the action.
You probably could. You're now getting to the limits of my DevOps knowledge. You could most likely make this more automated for a first-time deployment.
Okay, no worries. I hadn't run a GitHub action that I created on my own, so we're in good company here. Cool. So then, do we just try to restart this again?
Yeah, you'll run the same ecosystem file to start it again, and then we'll check out the logs.
Cool. Cool. PM2 logs.
Yep.
TSC not found.
It's still saying TSC not found. And it's saying it wants node greater than 22, which might be our error. Let's crash and let's nvm use 22 so we go to the version that Eliza needs.
NVM use 22.
It might complain that we don't have 22 installed. Yeah, execute that. If we don't have it installed, then we'll say install first.
Cool. What did we install it with?
We installed version 20 instead of 22.
Okay. There we go. Use 22. Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah, that should have fixed one of our errors.
Yeah.
Okay, try running, we're now in a new node environment, which means a lot of the things that we have just set up might not exist over here.
Okay, so maybe we can just rerun.
Yeah, rerun all those setup things.
Install 20. Okay, so basically from here.
Correct, exactly, just those last two. And after that, if you can reinstall the packages with pnpmi.
Yep. Hi. Cool. And the restart, right?
Yep. Moment of truth.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay, in this case, let's take the error and give it to Cursor and have Cursor try to help us set up our DigitalOcean environment.
Okay. Should I maybe copy these two?
Yeah, those should be good enough.
Okay. And here, how would you, I'm going to just let you lead. How would you want to frame this in Cursor?
Help me to debug my application start command in DigitalOcean. New line triple backtick, and then
Cool.
new line paste your code, and then new line triple backtick, and then do command enter to do the global code base search.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. So the problem is that TypeScript compiler is not found in the path when running the application. Looking at the Docker file and package.json. It's installed as a dev dependency in your Docker file.
Production stage does not include dev dependencies. Few solutions. Okay, so it's sounding like we're missing dev dependencies, which I would have expected to get installed with pm-pmi, but it's sounding like they were not.
Yeah.
Will that maybe try that installation pm-pm install -- production false to see if that gives it to us? Ignore that first run, yeah. And if this doesn't work for us, we'll just manually install TSC in the deployment environment, see if that fixes it.
Okay. I should probably kill that first, yeah.
Yeah.
PM2 stop 0. Okay.
That's it.
Cool. pm-pm install production false. Maybe it was anticipating the production environment to already have it installed.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's restart it and see what happens.
Yes, sir. Okay. Still not seeing it. So yeah, let's manually add TSC.
Manually add it. What do you mean by that?
pm-pm I TSC.
Cool. Just that.
Yeah.
You want to do it globally?
Right. Now I'm starting to think maybe TSC is not getting found. This is a bug. How can we overcome this bug? Inside of our ecosystem config, I'm wondering if it might not. So the pattern that I'm remembering is sometimes I'll run a command like trying to use the Supabase CLI, and I'll run Supabase, and then the command I'm trying to do, like pulling down the schema, and I'll get an error that says command Supabase not found, and then I'll run npx Supabase, and then it'll work. And I'm wondering right now if executing it as we are with the ecosystem file, if the same thing is happening, and I'm wondering if that is our issue.
I see. Oh, interesting. Like the actual way in which we are executing it?
Yes. Can you go back to Cursor real quick? I saw a note that it was pulling out in our ecosystem file. Also note that your ecosystem config, you have that. This should be updated to match whatever solution you choose. For the recommended solution, it would be, it's recommending Node. but it looks like it might be changing some things. We like PNPM because that's what Eliza recommends that we use.
Yep.
The error, this is a package missing error. We should be able to figure this out. The only question is, what's the solution? Can you try running the command manually? Your PNPM start character file. Try manually running that command instead of using PM2 to see if it works.
Yeah. And just to make sure, where did we end up setting that? That was in this ecosystem config? Yeah, right here. Okay, I'm just going to copy it just to see how it handles it. PNPM start character. Interesting. Didn't like that. Well, I wonder if I could just run it even without the character first, just to see. That also failed.
Same reason, missing TSC, or was it a different error?
No, same reason. Are you not able to see my screen?
Only the bottom left corner because it's got your name covering that portion of the terminal.
Okay.
The restream does. Okay, so no matter how you run it, it is not, TSC command is not working. So I guess let me run a quick search on, we're missing TSC in our DigitalOcean droplet. How can I install it to be able to execute C command?
Are you putting that into Claude?
I'm putting it, into OpenAI. To understand sudo apt ensure, try pnpmi-g and then TypeScript.
TypeScript?
Yeah, -g.
Yeah, so pnpm space I space -g and then TypeScript.
That looks correct. And afterwards, we'll verify with TSC -- version. So yeah, that looks good to send.
Able to find global bin directory.
Ecosystem.
Didn't we install something globally?
Oh, did it? It totally failed because we didn't know where to put it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe I would take that and give it to Claude or OpenAI and say, how can I install TypeScript globally in my DigitalOcean server?
TypeScript DigitalOcean droplet.
Perfect.
Getting the following error right now. Okay, I guess we'll just try this.
Agreed.
Config. Just want to make sure it's not doing anything crazy. Okay. Whoops, of course.
It's copying extra code.
It's copying everything. I see. Okay. Nice. Sick. Right. Cool. To path. So Vim installed. Bash RC works, right?
Did Vim not work?
Doesn't seem like it.
Try Nano if Vim doesn't work.
Okay.
Didn't work either?
Doesn't seem to be working. Oh, it's not even letting me get out of it.
It's not letting you stop it either?
No.
With
I think
control?
I think it might be hanging. I can't type anything either.
In that case, yeah, we might need to like forcefully exit this terminal and try getting back in.
Yep. Here.
You're right. Our current hangup is setting up the DigitalOcean ecosystem to support Eliza.
Mhm.
I don't have a good easy README, and so as a result, we followed an older README that I was using, which is missing some steps, and so now we're muddling through the error messages.
Yep.
Solution to this, after this video, if I or someone else can write an easier, more streamlined getting started doc to set up the DigitalOcean droplet, that will save us roughly 20 minutes that we've spent so far just trying to get this set up.
Yeah. This TSC issue alone probably took about 20 minutes so far. Okay. Then let me. I'm just gonna stop sharing for a second. I'm gonna SSH back in.
Copy. We're at 160 people who have tuned in. So while Rami is getting that all back set up, if you have any questions about deploying to DigitalOcean, if you are in the position that we are in, where we've got Eliza running locally, we want to deploy it so that our agent is always running, and you still have questions while watching this video, please respond during this live stream so that we can talk through your questions in real time. You've got the CTO of Coop Records on, along with myself, so two tech knowledgeable people, which is different than most of my live streams. So now's the time to ask questions if you have them. Otherwise, we'll keep streaming and hopefully we answer them along the way.
Yeah, I'll echo. I'm very down to answer any questions that come up. Okay, so we're SSH'd back in. So we're back here. Kind of wondering what we could do about like even.
Yeah, try just tagging it. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's all there.
Cool.
I wonder if I could. Wonder if I could just export those values at the bottom and just like add it in.
You could. Do you want to try Nano one more time and see if it works this time?
Yeah. Why don't I just do Nano? Okay. Oh, there we go.
And it's being edited by someone else, probably your stuck terminal.
Okay.
Or a hacker has already found it out during the live stream.
Yeah, found it. Okay. That too. Admittedly, I'm more familiar with Vim. So, there we go.
Cool. Yeah, just use the arrow keys to go all the way down to wherever. I think we want to put it all the way in the bottom, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then we'll want to write. So try whenever you get to the place, try just typing in letters and see if it shows up there. Cool. So now you should be able to paste whatever we need right into here.
Cool. So these should do. Cool.
And now I think it's. Oh, go ahead. We'll do that afterwards.
Say that one more time.
We'll execute that sourcing afterwards to load in the new profile, right?
Yeah.
Now we want to exit, which I believe is Control X, or if Control X doesn't do anything, try escape.
Okay.
Okay, and now
save modified buffer. And Control.
Should be able to just enter now, and it should work.
Okay.
You want to
let me just. Cool.
Now do that source command to source it.
Cool.
Okay, now try TSC-V or double dash version. Okay, it's saying we still don't have. Oh, did we ever actually install it? Were we able to do that? Okay.
No, we didn't. Okay, so now we are to run this. Or yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That seems correct.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Not hanging. Good sign. 5.
Try checking the version again.
Let's see. Dash version.
Correct. We'll close.
And then, well.
Nice.
Let's go. Okay.
Okay. All right, now let's try doing the ecosystem restart again to see if that works finally.
Okay. I'm gonna need that command again. Which was
Inside of your GitHub workflow file.
Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, you're saying to just start this?
In your GitHub workflow file, top left, open up the YAML deploy.yaml.
That's good.
There you
go. This one here.
That's it.
Cool. Cool.
PM2 logs.
Okay. Into logs.
Okay, no more errors. Can we see the successful?
I think I saw it say something about the Kai file, and it looked okay. Yeah, here we go. TSC and node.
Is it stuck in a loop, or is it actually doing something?
TSC and node. Command failed with exit code 2.
Yeah, I'm seeing cannot find Eliza modules and stuff. I'm wondering if we didn't have PNPM actually installed before. Can you try installing the packages again? PNPMI.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see if it's. Okay, we keep getting installs, so it's making me think we have. Usually, if we already have the packages, it would have been like everything's already up to date, right?
Yep. That's what I was thinking too.
Are you hearing this background noise of them working next door?
Yeah, a little bit. Sounds like a drum and bass set going on behind you, but it's not too bad.
I'll keep myself muted then.
Almost seems like it's restarting it from scratch. Current unsupported engine wanted node, current node 20.18. That's interesting.
Oh, we're not on 22. Because we exited out, we moved back down to 20. Can you stop this and change NVM 22 first?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. We might need to globally install TypeScript again as well. Crash it, change your version, and then let's check TSC-V to make sure on version 20. Did you already do NVM use 22?
No. NVM use. 22. Can I just check what we're currently, or I guess we're not.
Yeah. Do node-v to see what you're currently on.
20, okay. Use 22.
We've already installed it, so now we're using it. Now let's check TypeScript, TSC-V. Okay, so we still got it. Great. Now do your installation of packages.
Cool.
Good catch on unsupported engine. I wasn't watching.
Cool.
If this works, a note for the back of my own mind is we'll want to update your GitHub deploy to use node version 22 because we've got it hard coded inside of there a few places as 20.
Okay.
We'll want to, whenever we get this working, not high priority, we'll want to update it.
Yep. I don't know why I find it surprising that there's no solution out of the box to just handle the deployment of this. Not that this is like it's about as complicated as I imagined it would be.
This is one of the opportunities right now. Most people can get Eliza running locally. The percentage of the subset of those people who can actually deploy it is a very small set. And that's something I've realized, like bringing musician 0 to getting an agent running is like, okay,
Yep.
they can get it running locally, but then deploying a web app like Next.js is simple. You just go to Vercel, plug it into your GitHub repo. It's all automatic. You don't have to think about it. Don't need a credit card, nothing. But this, it's like, you got to figure out what provider you want of DigitalOcean. You got to figure out a GitHub workflow, manually write that because nobody else has done it before. Configure the environment with everything that you need because it doesn't work out of the box. And so I've started talking to the Vercel team because they've been working on a lot of AI tools. And I think they are well positioned to be the provider to offer that if that's what they see. So part of me thinks Vercel will eventually have an offering so we can deploy with the same level of ease as our Next.js applications, be able to deploy Eliza agents. And part of me thinks this is just the nature of server-based applications like Eliza, that environment config is still hard. And if it was easier, a company would have already come out with an easier solution. Do you have any thoughts on, is this just a temporary difficulty in the stage of agents, or do you think this is just the nature of server-based applications?
I hope it's a temporary difficulty in the state of agents, because even for something that is like a server-based type of service, I imagined it would have been easier to even set this. Like DigitalOcean is one option. I would have also imagined like Render, or trying to think of a couple of the other ones I was just playing around with, that it would just kind of be able to accept it out of the box, but it always felt like something would fail or something would crash. Like, honestly, this kind of reminds me of setting up a server like 10 years ago.
Right.
So there's definitely a lot of room to grow here. And I imagine you could probably get some good, if anybody is listening as a dev, they could probably get some good PRs up to clarify this experience. I wasn't sure if I was missing something when I was first doing it, and that's what was so confusing initially. So sure, if you could get this whole experience and kind of package it up into a single README, it would be really beneficial for the community.
Agreed.
Okay, so looks like query string builder will return to. Okay, so it looks like that was fine. Do we maybe want to try to run this again?
Yeah. Did you kill it or did it finish? I see killed as the last line before.
It finished. It's been saying killed a couple times when running.
Then in that case, yeah, try the restart command again.
Cool. There we go. Cool. And PM2 logs.
Exactly. Fingers crossed.
Failed exit code process. Do you need to install type definitions on Node?
Cannot find the Eliza OS core modules. So it's not finding the core packages, which should have already been installed. Can you LS here? Do we have Node modules?
Yep.
Okay, so you've got Node modules there. So
yeah.
It should be in it.
It's also type node. Are those also just dev dependencies?
Yeah, let's check if they're in there. Great question. It seems like all those errors were type related errors.
Yeah, TS node, TS up. What would it? Types node, right? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. That should be native.
Yeah.
But maybe they are missing it. Those should not be required commands, though. Is the server running and it's just complaining about TypeScript errors, or is it actually not working?
I see a command failed with exit code 2.
Okay,
and
so
then
it is
starting, and then it says online. So
is it online or is it still looping?
I think it's definitely still looping to some degree.
Or part of this is it might be running and we're not seeing a message that we expect. Let's try seeing if this is running. Opening up a new browser tab and just visit your IP address of your DigitalOcean server. Copy that IP and try just going to it in a new tab. Okay, so this is telling me that the server is not Oh, try adding a 3000 on the end, port 3000. Okay, same. So it is not running on localhost 3000.
Yep.
On its IP of 3000. We're stuck in a loop. The loop errors right now are that it is, it's missing packages, right?
Yep.
I have Eliza running on one of my DigitalOceans. Let me, you mind if I take over sharing?
Yeah.
Let me go into my version of Eliza that I have hosted and see what is different between our versions.
Cool. How are you doing for time, by the way?
I am fine on time. I would love to get us finished. However,
Okay.
I understand. So I'm flexible on time if you're flexible on time.
I am too.
Let's try to get this up. Droplet, Launchpad, phone, development Droplet. I thought I do have Eliza. It is inside of a Recoup Droplet. Let's go into this with wherever my terminal is. SSH root at Okay, so here's an Eliza Recoup starter. If I do PM2 list, my Eliza Recoup starter should be running along with Recoup agent APIs. If I do PM2 logs 1, because my process 1 is my Eliza, how is it doing? This is what I'm used to seeing, is that it's just running, and we're just...
Okay.
Actually, this might be the same situation.
It looks like less errors or less issues, though.
Let me try what port. This is probably running on 3001. Have I ever actually gotten it running? This is the IP. If I check this, I think 3000, I'm using a different. No, this
Cannot. What does it say? Cannot what?
Cannot get. This is what I would expect, is that the server is there. It's receiving the request. We haven't programmed in a root response. And so this is what you're getting, which means that IP doesn't exist.
Yep.
If we see cannot get, that's saying the server is running. We're just not sending it a request that it knows how to recognize.
Right.
Let's jump into the... We might need to build. I'm now wondering if we want to build and run instead of just start.
Okay.
Can you try running build before we run the start command?
Yep. So is that Docker build?
No, pnpm build.
Okay. And let's see. I probably want to kill the PM2.
Yeah, go ahead and kill it.
What was the command again? PM2 what?
To kill it, PM2 stop, and then the command number, PM2 stop 0.
Cool. Okay. And then let me share my screen again. Cool. Why does that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So pnpm build.
Yeah.
GSUP not found.
Which was our yeah, there's
another dev.
pieces.
Should we just be installing that as well?
Yeah, let's install the stuff that it says it's missing.
Okay. Oops. Globally?
I don't think we want it. Well, the TS up, yes. TS up, let's get globally.
Yeah. Cool. Try build again. I guess this is a good indicator for the fact that it can actually run. Cannot find process.
And that's something that we saw before. Let's try the command that it's telling us to run for both of those.
Which one is it?
We should be able to run pnpm pnpmi double dash save dev types node.
Yeah. But with pnpm, right?
Correct. It's getting a whole bunch of other stuff here too. Hugging Face is an AI related thing. I have a feeling we never fully finished downloading packages, and that kill is a sign that something.
That's fair.
Something.
Yeah, because it does say kill. Like on your, if you end up typing pnpmi at the end of it, it doesn't say kill. Yeah.
Why does it keep getting killed? It didn't finish that, right? If we try again, we're going to get the same error.
Yeah, it's going to just try to do it. Interesting. Yeah, it's doing the exact same thing. Just throwing something around, is it possible it has to do with the tier of droplet that we're currently using? I mean, it got further this time.
We should have plenty of space. You can check that by going into the front end UI for your droplet.
Okay. There it is.
And click into the droplet. Click on the name. To the left, the blue name.
The blue name? Sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And in here, we can see how we're doing on everything. It looks like we're fine on bandwidth, CPU usage. We got up to like 90%. But right now we have not hit 100 yet, have we? Or have we?
No, I don't think so.
No, we've stayed below. Disk IO have any of these passed the top? If no, we're still well within our.
We're still good.
Okay, yeah, we're still fine.
So I noticed this time I got further. I don't know if it's like it can only handle so much. Like, is it a process? I don't know. Yeah, you're right. CPU usage seems fine.
There was a time when I was hitting the same error and I kept installing, and it would get a little bit further before it crashed in relation to Eliza, and I'm trying to remember how I fixed it. It kept crashing because my environment did not have something correctly configured, and it was trying to give me the error, but I was not seeing the error. I have a feeling the same thing is happening. An error is happening, but it's not showing us the error. It's just saying killed. Is there a way I can get more verbose logging from the kill error during my install script? It's okay. So the chat's first response is the killed message is often indicative of a process being terminated by the system, usually due to out of memory, like you were saying. To get more verbose logging, we can add a log level debug at the end of this. I'm going to give you the same command with what it just suggested. Can you try send a private chat?
Got it.
Add a log level debug to the end. Let's see if that gives us.
Oh, that's weird. Didn't copy it properly.
And then after that one, if we get killed again, I sent you another message for more debugs.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, the resolve doesn't seem like it's going up. Downloading. Yeah, killed.
And we didn't get anything better. So try that other command I just sent you. It's going to try to find.
Total VM.
Like you thought, it's saying out of memory. So maybe we should try increasing the memory. That might be
Okay.
the error.
Okay. So
Is it
I'm
possible to
assuming-
increase the error or increase?
Yeah, upsize droplet.
Let's try it.
Probably want to sign out or like just exit out of here first, maybe.
That makes sense.
Cool. Yeah. Of course, this is still hanging, but I don't know. Hopefully that's okay. Let's try the 6 a month. Memory goes up just a little.
Yeah, we get a gigabyte of memory and
Resize. Okay. You must turn off your droplet before resizing. Okay, cool. Hopefully it doesn't destroy everything else that's on it, but. Okay. Resize. I think we're good. Oh, there we go. Pretty fast. Turn that on. Cool. Interesting. Is that a different IP? No, it's the same one.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna stop sharing just for a second. Okay, we have SSH'd back in. Sharing screen again. Cool. Where's agent APIs? Do we just want to try to run that same PNPM, or maybe just PNPMI, and we can see where that takes us?
Yes, PNPMI, and let's see where that takes us.
So just like one thing I'll add is I think in a lot of the documentation I was reading about was indicating that you needed, how much was it? I maybe I'm completely off by this, but that you needed like 4 gigs at a minimum.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, and so I was continuing to try without it, but I think we continue to just see what we can do here to really see what the limits are. The fact that you got it up and running for $4.
I swear I've gotten it up and running, and now in this call, I'm wondering, have I actually never gotten it running on a remote server?
It's also possible the specs have changed as time has gone on too.
I definitely had Agent Kit running, but that's totally different from Eliza.
On the $4 server?
On the $4, yeah. Everything I run's on the $4 servers. We're still installing. It hasn't shown killed yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Optimistic.
Yep.
I do see the wanted greater than or equal to 22. So we might be on an older version of NVM.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should just kill this and switch that first. Right? That sound right?
That sounds right to me, yeah.
Yeah. I think we're hanging.
We're hanging again. Okay.
Yeah.
You could be right. Maybe, or have we reached the upper bound on memory? Each time we try to install, we're getting thrown into a hang-up error. Are we pressing these DigitalOcean droplets to their limit with Eliza? Have I actually never gotten Eliza up? I'm referencing AgentKit, which is a different architecture and might be lighter. I'm now thinking I need to go and deploy an Eliza onto DigitalOcean just to verify I actually understand how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Do you have thoughts on things you want to try before we throw in the towel for today?
A part of me wants to try with more
Space?
like a larger droplet.
I'm down to stay on.
Process did resolve. Oh, hold on. Progress resolved. Never mind. No, it didn't. Yeah, it's still hanging actually. Okay. So my first thought is probably upsizing the droplet to that minimum that I've seen. I just can't remember if it was 4 gigs or 8, but let's just say 4. At least just to like test it.
Yeah.
But I also want to be conscious of the fact that we've been on for about an hour and a half. So I don't know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I'm almost down to go try this on my own. I do feel unblocked in a lot of ways, regardless.
You want to try one more, jump it up to 8, do one more install command and see if we can get over the hang up. And if we still hang up, we write down whatever the most important question is from this talk and we go into other work.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm actually down to like redo it or something like that if we want to do another session.
I like that as well, because I agree. Most people have the same question, and after you and I have both searched, we haven't found any other resources showing how to do a deployment.
Yep. Okay, so it eventually I'm not hanging anymore, so that's good.
Did you have to exit, or did it just unblock itself?
It just unblocked itself.
Great.
But let's just do this one more time. So I'm gonna have to exit out anyway. I will turn off. Turn off. Cool. And you were saying let's try with 8.
Do the 8 because it's not gonna. Yeah, you can toggle it back after our call, and it'll give us an upper bound on your memory usage.
Okay. So let's do 8. And does it prorate the amount?
Yeah, you can see up top right, we've been charged 12 cents in total out of the $4 per month. So it's 0.063 per hour, so 6 cents per hour. So if we're on for another hour, you'll spend 6 cents.
Okay, cool. Go. Also fun experience to know that like 2 devs who are like pretty in the weeds on a lot of this stuff are still experiencing some issues with just installing this. So anybody who wants to come out the gate and help us would be that'd be nice. I guess one other question I have for you just while it's loading up is, let's say we have this running on this IP on port 3000. Do you end up making API calls to it? Is that typically how it would work? Or is there another way of just like communicating with your Eliza agent in general?
I start off with just direct API requests, but what you're asking, they're called clients in the Eliza architecture. So you add in a Telegram client if you want to be able to message it on Telegram. You add a Twitter client if you want it to be able to send messages on Twitter. What is the interface you anticipate sending messages, or do you anticipate no direct communication? It's going to be running without input-output of conversational messages.
A lot of interesting questions there. I think I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So the first thought I had was like, if I just wanted to create a interface to chat with it of my own. So not Telegram, not like kind of using it to figure out what exactly I'm trying to think like if I'm just the experience I was thinking of specifically was it's nothing's been fully implemented just yet, but the purpose of it was to feed it information from a surf API and to just kind of have it read it and give me a summary of like what it thinks of that information, and over time hoping to continue kind of working around that. So the hope was that I would have some sort of web application that could make calls to it
Yeah.
to just get an idea. I imagine I have to work on a plugin for the APIs, but is this sort of making sense?
Yeah. So in that case, you will just use APIs. The API should work right out of the box with the Vercel AI SDK. So it should be relatively easy to just plug in one simple API so that in your chat interface that you build, when you hit enter, it sends the request, it streams all the text for the answer. That should be relatively easy.
Okay. And that's the Vercel.
Go ahead.
What was it called? What was that called? Sorry.
The Vercel AI SDK.
Vercel AI SDK. Just going to keep that open. I'll take a look at that later. Okay, that's helpful to hear. But that does sound like a use case that I could actually run with.
Personally, I found the easiest thing to get up and running is the Telegram client.
Oh, okay.
All you do is you send a message to the bot father on Telegram. The bot father will give you a key. You put that key into your Eliza config. If that's interesting to you, we can pivot to doing that in the last minute, and I'll show you how to run it locally and be able to send it messages on Telegram.
Got it. Okay. I think for now that should be fine. But just for the sake of wanting to try this one last time, and if not, we can regroup and kind of figure out what makes the most sense.
Smart.
Yeah, I have a million questions for you as well, but maybe we can do another session. Okay, so we're back in ways and PNPMI. Let's see what happens.
Node version 22.
That's right. NVM. Right. NVM use 22. Cool.
Moment of truth. Can we install all the packages?
Yeah. I think things are, well, I got stuck here. Yeah, it's still moving. So let's see. Wow, did you look at that?
It did it?
Yeah, it seems like it finished.
Warning, it's ignoring build scripts. I don't know if that's okay or not.
Well, we can try to run with PM2, right? And just see if that...
Agreed.
If any of these issues come up.
Yeah, instead of PM2, can you just put the actual command and let's try just running it the same way you would in your local server?
Yeah, let's do that. I forget, was it in here? No.
It's inside of your ecosystem config.
That's right, okay.
It's giving us that permission side. Yeah, try running it with the ecosystem file.
Okay, cool. I mean, the fact that it's, because I imagine it would just use the default character as a result.
It does look like it's loading, yeah. And then we get
no locate file. Let's try that PM or
the ecosystem command.
Yeah, there might be a lot of things going on there. Logs.
You usually see that locally, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, nothing here. Just
Unable to
looking
load the
back.
character file.
Wonder why.
And now it's trying it again in a loop.
Error loading character. No such file or directory. Is it
The
possible
directory
that
looks weird that it's trying to load. It's like root waves, and then it's got a space //
Yeah.
So it seems like we are passing in the directory in a way that is not being read correctly in PM2's execution environment.
Yeah.
Can
Yep.
I'm thinking, yeah, try changing those to double quotes when we run it. Or
Like,
I guess this is our local environment, not our deployed environment, right?
yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying though. Like, let's just try this locally.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Prefix. And are we still getting unable to open that file?
Nope.
Interesting. So just changing it from backticks to double quotes seems to have fixed our permission error.
Yep. And I wonder if we could just do like escape quotes. I don't know if that does.
Ah, that's smart.
Maybe that will do the trick for us.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, still seems like we got some errors.
Yep. I see this one locally sometimes, which we usually just need to run pnpm clean here to clean
Okay.
out the ecosystem. This works for me. I've seen this error on my own computer, and when I tried to do Eliza with Nico Matawari the other day, we also saw it, and it's unable to find the node files, which is weird. It should have deleted all those. Yeah, so after pnpm clean, we then need to run pnpm install again.
Yeah.
We're getting the better SQL error, which is an error I've run into on my own machine. I've seen other people hit it. I don't know if I found a good solution to overcome it. The current solution that is flagging in my mind is that warning message we got earlier. And I said, I don't know if that's important for us to note or not. Do you remember the warning message I'm talking about?
Yeah.
In there, I think was this packet. There, right there. It's at the bottom, that warning.
Yeah.
Because this includes better SQLite 3 in there. And that's what I always see is causing the error. It's the third package in the list, better SQLite 3. I don't know what the error is, or we might just need to run pnpm approve builds.
Okay.
And see what that is. But we have gotten to the same error that I have recreated, and I have not figured out how to overcome. But I've never seen the warning message that you're seeing now.
I see. Okay. Do you want me to run this?
If you can, yeah. I know we're getting towards the end and wanting to wrap up. I'd love to see you run that.
Yep.
A to toggle all.
A.
And then just let it.
Just enter. Yes.
I have a feeling this is the bug for the better SQLite, is that on a new computer, Nico Matawari did not give permission to SQLite, and permission errors for running these post-install scripts might be the
Okay. There was an issue with the Discord.
If it's just Discord, we'll be fine with that because we won't be using Discord. But if it was something, try npmi again. Just make sure that we do have all of our packages. Hopefully it's skipped because we already got it. Already up to date. Perfect. But it's, yeah, you're right. It is still saying ignored the build scripts, but we just ran it afterwards. So hopefully we're
Yeah.
fine. Let's try running it again. Well, it says it exited with command 1. So did it actually never finish?
Wait, what exited with command 1?
Right. Yeah, right there.
Oh,
Where your mouse
these.
is.
Oh, interesting.
Just
Yeah,
try
it's
it again.
possible. Okay, let's just try again, see where we end up.
Okay, same
Yeah.
error. So it didn't, and then that we can see it there. Better SQLite 3 node is the first package being referenced in all these errors.
Yep. I may be hitting the end of my time.
Yep.
But I'm very open to kind of taking a pause right now with the hope that I actually feel like you've unblocked me like a lot already. So I'm hoping that this gives me enough to kind of go back and play with it a little bit more. And then I'm down to do another session, start to finish again, if that's something of interest to you or anybody watching as well.
Yeah. When one of us figure it out, what is the most important question in your mind that having the answer will allow us to complete this video?
I am really actually just, I would say the big thing that would help round this out would be my hope at the end of this was that we would have had it running on a server, which is fine that we can't get that at the moment. But I think the next thing beyond that was really just trying to get an understanding of how to interact with Eliza from an application perspective, because I think I gave you that example of Eliza being able to go in and kind of like, look at the wavelengths and understand the different periods of swell. And like, there's just like a lot of other just random bits of information that I would hope that it could look at using a plugin of some sort. My question is understanding, like, if there's an application layer, how do you end up communicating with it? I know you had mentioned Telegram and being able to communicate with it. Would you be building a product, or like, would you be building a web app that communicates directly with Telegram, or how exactly do you what does that infrastructure look like? Because I just been watching your videos, and so I have more questions about that very specifically.
Telegram is just my proof of concept to verify that the API requests sent from Telegram are being received and it's responding. That saves me from spinning up a Next.js application right out of the box and allows me to verify Eliza works. Once I've verified it works, then I agree with you. Let's build out a Next.js app. Let's have that send the same API requests that Telegram is. I'm only using Telegram as a proof of concept that Eliza is working.
Got it. Okay. And then I think the other question I have for you just has to do with the specific just understanding and experience of having an agent running. I anticipate that Eliza is good in the sense of like being able to go and perform multiple steps. But I think the other thing I'm actually not entirely aware of or clear on is where you are setting those multiple steps. I was trying to look through your Recoup open source code that you have open as well. But I think like just like conceptually, it all makes sense. But then seeing it applied feels like it's like really hard to fully grasp what that actually looks like.
Yep.
So I'd love just like,
how is it actually
yeah,
thinking? What are those steps in its thought, and what's the specific file I can go into to understand how it's thinking?
Yeah, and then maybe moreover, you had mentioned having agents running 24/7, and I think that I'm also having a hard time understanding like what kicks off an agent to actually work 24/7, because I think of like, some sort of cron job that runs every 10 minutes, and that makes a lot of sense to me if you kick off an agent. But what does that also mean in that context there?
You have reached where I am at thinking architecturally about Recoup.
Okay,
What
fair
cron
enough.
jobs do we use? What are the webhooks that are triggering thoughts? What does it actually mean to be thinking all the time? Do we actually want it spending computation all the time, or is it only when someone clicks a button? Is it when they open up the web app, we want it to start thinking again? we use buzzwords because it's easy to convey. Like it's always thinking, it's always running. You have a record label in your pocket, but on the tech side that you and I are building on, it's those very concrete, specific questions of, okay, it's thinking all the time. Is it actually a cron job? Is it actually a webhook? What are the triggers? Those are things that we build in our architecture. It's you manually build those, and each plugin has a different logic. Some of those plugins are cron job oriented, others are webhook oriented. Each plugin is different, and you build Eliza with an amalgamation of different triggers for when it thinks and what types of ways that it thinks when a specific action happens.
I see. That honestly makes a lot more sense than the way that I think I was initially approaching this, and that even falls from just my experience using Cursor or ChatGPT or any of that stuff, because my initial understanding, and I don't know if this is just like, it was just like from a complete perspective of naivety, is I actually thought AI had memory, and learning that it didn't was a really fun experience, which I think then led me down this route of trying to understand AI agents and just kind of how they work in terms of like keeping context throughout a conversation. It also explained a lot as to why sometimes Cursor just completely forgets what I had told it to do. So yeah, no, that's helpful to hear. It's just kind of like affirming what I have found to be the case, because it's never it's never explicitly said that way. Because I think if you look at most videos or anything like that, everybody talks about AI being like this like mastermind of everything, and I think we're the ones who have to get it to that place, and that's what I'm really understanding from this.